Hey guys, welcome to another Rome Total War commentary battle. And this one's a doozy. I joined this random guy's room, just hoping for a good 1v1. And the guy started insulting me right off the bat. So I knew it was going to be fun. But what I didn't know is that it would be hosted on this absolutely ridiculous custom map. I kind of assumed it was going to be grassy flatlands, so stupidly, without checking, I just made my normal Rome versus Greece army. This is really not a good hilly map army at all. It's way too archer heavy, but it is what it is. So yeah, my opponent decided to host on this extremely absurd map. I've never really seen this kind of slope before, but not only that, but he brought a full-on corner camping army with tons of Spartans and Cretans. And for the uninitiated, corner camping is pretty much like the lowest form of Rome Total War gameplay. And corner camping on a map like this is basically like a giant coward strategy, because you're basically trying to do nothing and make it impossible for your opponent to win. Spartans are basically the hardest to beat unit from the front in the entire game. And then when you give yourself this kind of ridiculous incline advantage plus support from these like long range, high damage archers, basically nothing can get close to your formation without taking a bunch of fire. And nothing can actually penetrate the semicircle of Spartans you make around the red line here. So completely unfair, basically cheating strategy to go into the corner like this. And any sensible person in this situation, I'm just going to put this on triple because it takes me forever to get up here. Any sensible person in this situation would have just admitted defeat immediately upon seeing this absolute stupid cheese strategy that my opponent is trying to pull here. But something inside me just said, no, I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to try to win because it'll feel so good to make this guy eat shit if he somehow manages to lose, even with this absurd advantage. Now, I'm not really used to playing on hill maps that much. I'm more of a grassy flatland sort of player myself. But what I really didn't know about these hill maps is you can actually get your army exhausted just by walking up an incline like this, let alone running. Because on a flat map, walking doesn't actually expend any energy, but on a map like this, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but just walking will get your troops exhausted. So I thought it was going to take me a minute to scale this peak, but it actually takes me like practically forever, especially because my opponent refused to triple during this entire sequence. So you're going to see my men go from fresh to exhausted, back to fresh, back to exhausted, just trying to get up here. So it's going to take my army, it's a good thing that I have it on triple speed. It took me, I shit you not, 1 hour to get up this mountain. And again, a normal person, a healthy person, would just say, okay, you know what, this guy is a troll and a noob, and just leave the room. But I just wasn't going to let this guy get his satisfaction. I was determined to win this game. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if this corner camping Spartan strategy truly is unbeatable, or if it can be beat. And I don't really have that much to say as I scale this mountain, so I'm going to give you guys the benefit that I never had, which is I'm going to let you guys skip to the final engagement, so I'll see you then. Alright guys, welcome back. That was no time at all for you guys, but it was 20 minutes of fast forwarding for me. All you missed is I took some damage on my cavalry auxilia because I was trying to bleed out some of his ammunition. I finally got up this hill after so much resting. I'm trying to strike at his Cretans because he brought them a little too far forward. And my plan at the moment is to cramp his Cretans because he's made a very tight box here. And if his Cretans get all cramped up, they have a hard time drawing back their bows. And so their archer fire becomes very ineffectual. I'm also able to get a lot of kills on his Cretans just with my cavalry, which he obviously shouldn't allow at all. But yeah, you see how when he's in, these archers should be able to fire, but the archers that are inside of his Spartans are going to have a very hard time firing effectively. So I'm going to make sure to stand really close with my Praetorian Cav so that he has no way of actually making space for his Cretans. So that's my plan at the moment. But the much bigger problem is how to deal with all of these Spartans. And so basically what I've done is I've put all of my urbans where the incline is the least steep, which is just right around this red line here. That's the best I can do. Especially because there's this little knoll here, little tiny hill where I actually might get a slight downhill advantage here. So that's a very lucky little piece of terrain there. But my plan at the moment is to use his own strategy against him. So right now he's on top of this hill, which is going to impart very, very big combat bonuses. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to break through in column formation right across the top of his semicircle right here and take the high ground from him by force. And if I get the high ground, then my dudes will be fighting with an advantage. So as long as I'm able to break through right here, I'll be able to seize the advantage back. So we'll see how that goes. And you can see he's doing very little damage with his Cretans, even though they're shooting from a very high vantage point, which normally would allow them to get lots of kills. But since they're so bunched up, they're like sardines. They're really not able to be very effectual. So that's what's going on right now. The other thing I decided to do is, at a certain point you're going to see, I'm going to put all of my archers right here so I can focus fire into the unshielded side of these Spartans right here. I'm going to try to do everything to weaken these corner Spartans right here. So, you can see me right now, I'm moving up my urbans to just try to pila these Spartans right here. My whole game plan is centered around making sure that I'm able to break through right on the top of the map. He's making a slight mistake, which is keeping his spears up. When the spears are down, his units actually get a slight defense bonus. Okay, but he's putting them back down. I'm trying to get as close with my urban as possible before I start throwing Pila, because Pila damage basically goes down with distance significantly, unlike Archer Fire, which goes down at a much slower rate. So, and you can see I'm starting to position with my archers here. And I'm going one at a time so that I don't get bum rushed by Spartans. If he decides to rush, I'm going to lose at least at most one urban. So I got in my Pila, and now I'm going to retreat that urban and send in a different urban. So that's my plan at the moment. I'm just going to try to Pila him one by one, as well as pour in fire from this side. And it's uphill, so the fire obviously isn't going to do as much damage, but with any luck, if I do enough damage to this part of his army, then I should be able to win the game. Just gonna fast forward a little bit, or maybe double speed it. Yeah, you can see I'm already starting to pour in the fire into these guys. Not getting great kills so far, but sometimes the kills on Spartans can be a little delayed because they have 2 hit points. And anytime he attempts to bring his Cretans forward, I'm going to try to repulse them with my cavalry. So you can see I'm already getting pretty great kills here with my my Archer Auxilia. So I'm starting to feel a little optimistic about this game, even though the situation is extremely ridiculous. But if he's got any game sense at all, he's going to eventually try to reinforce this area where it's weak. So I have to balance the fact that I could attack right now with the fact that I've still got tons of Pila and ammo left. Because if he reinforces this area too much, I'm pretty much cooked. There's really not going to be a way for me to break through if he has a strong wall of Spartans on this upper edge here. But I'm banking on the fact that the kind of player that hosts on a outrageous slope with a Spartan corner camping build doesn't have the best game sense. So, as you can see, I'm just going up, piloing, and then running back. And as you can tell, I've actually done quite a bit of damage here. And you can see I did a little strike there. It's because he turned his Spartans for a second. I don't really anticipate my cav being able to do that much because obviously he's got his entire defensive perimeter covered by spears. So anytime I can do even a little bit of damage to his Spartans with my cavalry without totally wasting them, I'm going to take those opportunities. So I've already started fighting him a little bit here, it looks like. Which is interesting. Let's see. I think in this game, what I wanted to do, yeah, I'm doing it now. What I wanted to do is run through his spears. I think they're glitching a little bit because they're like right up against the line. But like I wanted to run through rather than just do a regular attack. I pop guard mode, turn guard mode on, and just try to. I think what I did is I stretched my whole line up through here, like just tried to reform, sort of like behind his army. That way, all of the men will just push forward as aggressively as they possibly can into his formation. But you see, my worst fear here has been realized. He started to send some Spartan reinforcements to this upper edge. So as he does that, I believe I'm starting to realize that my opportunity is now. So I've got to make an impact before he's able to secure this upper edge. So I'm sending in even more urbans at the moment. And we're making decent progress here. I remember it was really hard for me to actually properly order my men to go here because it was so close to the line and there weren't that many like valid areas for me to place my cursor. But I'm just going to plow up here with as many units as I can. I'm placing some units here just to make sure that he doesn't turn his whole force. If he decides to turn, then I'll hit him in the back with some of my units. But now I'm making my push with a few more units. We're just wearing him down here. And I think here you can start to tell that the tide of battle is turning. He's starting to lose advantageous position with his units. But he decides to peel off a few Spartans to attack my urbans here. And realizing that I really need to hold this position, I'm going to send in my cavalry. But again, it's really hard to like get proper charging lanes here because obviously there isn't a lot of space. So he's peeling off more units to try to counter my urbans here. I think I could have taken a little bit more initiative and pushed a little bit earlier and a little bit harder with more units, and maybe I could have like completely overwhelmed this this upper edge here. And my urbans are getting kind of tired, which is also pretty bad for me. So now, even though the battle was looking good for me, it's starting to turn back into his favor. You can see he's still got quite a lot of Spartans left, and my urbans here are getting kind of fatigued and depleted. So I decide to push in with one last desperate thrust of urban cohorts. So we'll see how that goes. He actually starts to rout some of my urbans here. So I'm actually down to only three healthy urbans. So I peel off some of my other urbans that I had been using just to give his frontal Spartans something to think about, and I bring them up here to make a new battering ram of urbans. I really should have just attacked with all of my urbans at once, I think, rather than trying to slowly grind my way through here. And so here I go. I'm going to surge through with as many urbans as possible, and I'm just going to wedge charge uphill, and we're just going to hope for the best here. The good thing is I've successfully sort of broken his formation here. And it's actually my calf that's doing a lot of the work here. So that's really good for me. And one of his hoplites here starts to rout, and his Cretans are routing, which is really good because the routing is sort of contagious to his formation. And yeah, even though he was able to sort of repulse my infantry surges for the most part, because I could have probably executed them a little bit better, I did enough damage with my Pila and my archers and my infantry pushes to seal the deal with a final thunderous cav charge. So yeah, we were able to win here. I would say well played to Horden, but it wasn't. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one.